So we know that supply chain management is about managing, controlling, and monitoring three flows: the cash flow, the material flow, and the information flow. Let me give you an example of how these three flows can make a huge difference for businesses. So, and the one business we talk about today is Dell. Started in 1984, ish, there were many other leading computer makers in the industry. And most of these computer makers followed the traditional model where the computers would be made in some factory, they would be shipped to a seller who would then ship it to another distributor, warehouse, and take a long route to finally reach the end consumer. Since the route from the manufacturer to the customer was a long one, the material flow took a long time. The cash flow took a long time to come back from the consumer to the manufacturer. And even the information flow took a long time. So the manufacturer was never really sure of what exactly the consumer wanted or what changes should they do in the products so that they can satisfy the consumer better. Now, Dell completely changed this model, and Dell started servicing directly the consumers. And that's where the famous sentence, direct from Dell. And by removing all these middlemen, and we call this term disintermediation, Dell increased the speed of material flow because now the computers went directly from Dell to the consumers. Dell also increased the speed of cash flow because these consumers paid Dell directly, sometimes through credit card, and which generated immediate payments. And the information, since Dell was directly connected to its consumers, they knew what the consumers wanted. They knew what products were doing good and which products were nearing their end of the life. And so, by using supply chain management, Dell, by 2000s, from being a nobody in 1980s, became one of the leading computer companies in 2000s. Can you recall another company which has done something similar in more recent times? Well, if you've been thinking about Amazon, you are on the right track. They did precisely the same things where we would have a long distribution channel where goods would come from multiple warehouses, were stored everywhere, and reach the consumers. Amazon completely revamped that model by having materials stored in a few warehouses and thus increasing the speed of cash, material, and information flows.